Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. I am, of course, back in Wales, so today I thought it'd be pretty cool to come down to the Cardiff Arms Park, which you see behind me, which is sitting in the shadow of the Principality Stadium. And as surprise, surprise, Warren Gatland has announced his squad 2 days earlier than expected. So let's dive straight into it. I figured I was going to try and get into the stadium itself, the Principality, but it's on lockdown right now. No, just kidding. It's not. I just can't get in there. So I asked the lads at Cardiff Rugby if I'd come down. And of course, because they let me in November for the game, they let me just come pitch side just to do this. So special edition of the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast live at the Cardiff Arms Park. So let's quickly dive into the Wales v Ireland squad. The forward pack is unchanged. So let me just run through it real quick. We've got Gareth Thomas, Elliot Dee, Kieran Azarati, Dav Jenkins, Adam Beard, Alex Mann, Tommy Raffel, and Aaron Wainwright. Backs, only one change. So Thomas Williams, Sam Costello comes straight back in at fly half instead of Ioan Lloyd. He is obviously fit and overcome his HIA and head injury. Rio Dyer on the one wing, Nick Tompkins at 12, George North 13, Josh Adams on the other wing, and Cam Winnett, the Cardiff superstar, at fullback. So no changes except obviously Sam Costello coming back into the squad with some mixed opinions on that. Replacements, Ryan Elias, Corey Domachowski, Dylan Lewis gets back in after being called up in replacement of Leon Brown. Will Rowlands, Mackenzie Martin could make his senior debut and be the 1200th member of the Welsh team if he does make that senior debut. We've got Kieran Hardy, Ioan Lloyd and Mason Grady. And we know what sort of impact Ioan Lloyd had off the bench against Scotland, but this time hopefully that's not necessary and he can just kind of play as a playmaker role instead of playing from behind. So we'll see what happens there. But a couple controversial things to start. So obviously a lot of people are hoping for another hooker instead of Ryan Elias. Basically, whenever he comes on, the line out goes to pot, and of course Ireland's going to be targeting that. I was expecting Corey Domachowski to start. I think Gareth Thomas had a decent day. Obviously his first game back after being injured and whatnot, but I do believe Corey Domachowski adds a little bit more physicality around the park, and we're going to need that against Ireland. I think a lot of people were expecting Will Rowlands to start instead of Beard, but as we know, Adam Beard is a very good defensive line-out, and I think Ireland's going to be targeting that, so something to look out for. And then Mackenzie Martin is going to be in there to cover the back row, and I'm sure if he comes on, that's going to be very exciting because he is a massive number 8. He's a different type of number 8 that Wales haven't had. He's big, he's strong, and he is a good ball carrier as well. Interestingly, no Gareth Davis again. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but Kieran Hardy comes in on the bench instead of Gareth Davis, and then obviously Ioan Lloyd, Mason Grady to cover the entire length and breadth of the backs. So that will be good. Personally, if it was my opinion, which it isn't, but I can give my opinion because this is my podcast, the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. If you are new here, by the way, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more. But I would personally see Mason Grady starting over Josh Adams. Josh Adams has been he's very good defensively, but I think Mason Grady offers a little bit more in attack. And I think we're going to have to get out to the wings quick because we're not going to be able to match Ireland physically up front. So we're going to have to spread it wide, and I think Mason Grady offers a little bit more than Josh Adams. And people, I think, underestimate just how young Mason Grady actually is from a test standpoint. He's only, he's in early 20s, so lacking in experience, but what he lacks in experience, he makes up for raw power and talent. So happy days. A lot of people wanted Ioan Lloyd to continually start instead of Sam Costello coming straight back in, but that obviously hasn't happened. And then interestingly, Harry O'Connor has been called up to replace Archie Griffin. So that got announced last week, which is good for Harry O'Connor. Obviously a product of the under-18s, under-20s sort of Welsh team. In other news, let's just quickly touch upon the regions. Scarlets lost to Munster 7-42, which was pretty brutal to watch. And of course, the defensive coach getting fired basically after that sort of display. Not really the Scarlets' fault. A lot of the Scarlets players are in the Welsh squad, so that's a bit unfortunate. Here, Cardiff narrowly lost to Connacht, 16 points to 12. Cardiff, ill-disciplined, 2 cards, didn't help them there, but narrowly losing that one. Glasgow beating the Dragons convincingly, 40 points to 7, which is again unfortunate for them, but you have to remember the Dragons are without their star players. They are in the Welsh squad. And then the Ospreys with a last-minute drop goal by Dan Edwards, beating Ulster 19 points to 17 on the weekend. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a brief roundup of the Welsh regions. That is the Wales v Ireland squad from the Cardiff Arms Park. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous here. Beautiful pitch. The weather's holding out for me. It was supposed to rain at some point this week, but I've been very fortunate thus far, and it hasn't. So the weather's been really good. So yeah. And I have some exciting news coming very soon. Well, fuck it, I'll just say it now. Chip of the Top Rugby podcast is going to Dublin on the weekend to watch Wales v Ireland. So that's exciting. Whether I can film or not, I don't know. I'll try and film. I doubt I'll be able to do a podcast. I'm going to be going to Dublin and enjoying myself. So that will be fun. But yeah, like I said, if you are new here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. I'll catch you very, very soon. This is the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. My name is Ryan, and this is the Cardiff Arms Park. Diolch.